Taylor Finlayson, and today I'm going to talk about why the United States must implement gun laws similar to Canada's. Being a Canadian citizen who attends an American university, I've experienced two very different cultures and can see from both sides of the argument. To start off, I'm going to share some statistics I found. According to CBS News, Americans are 10 times more likely to be killed by guns than people in other developed countries. Compared to 22 other high-income nations, the United States' gun-related murder rate is 25 times higher. And even though the United States' suicide rate is similar to other countries, the nation's gun-related suicide rate is 8 times higher than other high-income countries. Overall, the results show that the US, which has the most firearms per capita in the world, suffers disproportionately from firearms compared with other high-income countries. More than 2/3 of the homicides in the US are firearm homicides, and studies have suggested that the non-gun homicide rate in the US may be high because the gun homicide rate is high. The total firearm death rate per 100,000 people in the United States was 10.2. The country with the second highest firearm death rate was Hungary at 3.6, and Canada's was 2.3. This is a massive difference. Of all the murders in the US in 2012, 60% were by firearm compared with 30 in Canada. These statistics have grown since they were recorded. After the shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida, where 17 children and adults lost their lives due to this act of careless violence, I conducted a survey seeking people's opinion on the US implementing stricter gun laws or not. The results came out to be 75% in favor and 25% against, as I expected. In order to own a firearm in Canada, you must get a non-restricted firearms license. In order to get this license, you need to take the Canadian Firearms Safety Course. After completion of the course, you must take the Canadian Firearms Safety Course exam and score at least 40 out of 50 to pass. This is required before you even send in a firearms application. This application process takes a minimum of 45 days for the possession and acquisition license. During the application process, there are a number of extensive background checks. If there are any uncertainties, in-depth investigations are conducted, including interviews and questioning by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. After the application process is complete and you go and purchase a firearm, you must register your firearm and provide all of the firearm documentation. Since every state has different gun laws, I chose to compare the safest state with just 2 murders resulting from firearms since 2009, North Dakota. Here are the state requirements. For shotguns and rifles, there is no permit necessary for purchase. Registration is not mandatory. Licensing of owners is not necessary, and permit to carry is not necessary. For handguns or pistols, which are prohibited in Canada, there is no permit necessary to purchase. Registration is not necessary. Licensing of owners is not necessary, and a permit to carry is necessary only if the firearm is concealed. The statistics and recent events have proven that the United States is a ticking time bomb and the next horrific tragedy. In order to see improvements in the statistics and security of life throughout the United States, similar gun laws to Canada must be implemented.